Franklin from We Need Clarity, and this is going to be episode 2 on the show. Before we get started, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up. It is much appreciated. And of course, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you can be updated with new stories, streams, and content. Tonight, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into the Tyre Nichols story. He has been laid to rest. They had his funeral today. I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait to have this video, do this stream for a couple of reasons. Everyone loves to rush and get content out. Everyone loves to rush and be the first to talk about something. But I feel like human life was involved. The story was a little bit different. And before I started sharing what I would think would be my opinions towards it, I wanted to wait. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the video. I'll be honest with you guys. If I'm going to have to drop the disclaimer, if you are sensitive to these kind of things, you probably don't want to watch it. But yeah, we're going to watch the video. We're going to break it down and then obviously give our opinions.
Yes. So no. So real quick, man. I mean, it's just something like it's definitely needed. I'm looking at some of the comments on the side. This is definitely something needed in the community for all nationalities. This is not a black and white thing anymore. Now it's a blue thing. Mm-hmm. And we definitely want to get into it. This definitely brings some emotions, but what we don't want is this. It's easy to bring up the negative and it's easy to bring up the anger out of all of this. But we're trying to take this another route and find a positive in it. There's nothing positive about it. But we can pull little nuggets out of it to what not to do the next time. There's one thing I always preach. Yeah. You can learn from great things, but you can also learn what not to do as well from bad things. Yeah. And this is one of these things we're going to learn what not to do going forward versus learning what to do. So it's going to be very intense tonight.
Yeah. Obviously, from our 21 and over folks, if you got a drink in your hand, cheers to you guys. And let's
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the video is going to start, I think, at this point, they're answering the call.
Okay.
Whatever the call that they got. Shout out to you, Lutza. Says, when you've been beaten by the hand of a man, everything brings back old flashback. Sorry about that, Lutza.
True.
Like I said, it would be a little sensitive tonight. So, but we're gonna get through it.
Yeah, we're gonna get through it. Any volume?
The volume comes up after. I think it's about 60 seconds or something like that.
Okay.
Which I really wonder why there's these pauses in like the audio. It's always weird to me.
It's everything should be 100% when it comes to these cams and this audio. For this.
Because like, what is he saying right now?
Yeah,
that should all be
part of this. It should be all part of the trial. Yeah. I mean,
get your head, blow the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out the fucking car. I didn't do anything. Hey, I didn't turn your ass around. All right. On the ground. Hey, you don't do that, okay? Get on the fucking ground. Get on the ground.
Like right there is already too much already.
Let's pause it. Let's pause it. Right off the bat, the situation is chaotic, right? And I understand that being a police officer entails a lot of high pressure, a lot of intensity, and things like that, right? But they're also taught to de-escalate certain situations. Now, don't get me wrong. This was a specific unit, right? The Scorpion unit, as they were called. I guess in a sense, was this the right, the right police for the job? Was this the right unit called for the job? Or were they just some people in the area for the Memphis PD?
And you brought up a good point. Are they the right unit for the job? Yeah. Now, there should be some universal training no matter which unit you're in. Now, obviously, some specialize in other things, gang-related stuff, drugs, whatever it may be. Everybody specializes in something, but the fundamentals should be to de-escalate a situation versus escalating a situation.
Yeah, and that's how I see it. It's as far as if you have someone that's maybe a little bit more calm, a little bit more docile than someone that would say maybe that's waving a gun at innocent people or that's actually a true threat, right? But let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep it.
Let's keep going.
We'll narrate through it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, here we go.
Lay down! Lay down! Yes, lay down! Please stay on the ground! I think tase you! Get on the ground! Lay down! One! Now! I tase him! Alright, okay. Alright. Break your shit. Okay, dude, damn! Turn the fuck around. Put your fucking hands on your back! Bitch, put your hands behind your back so I break. Okay, stop. I'm gonna knock your ass the fuck out. You guys are really doing a lot right now. Bro, lay down. I'm just trying to go home. Lay down. Man, if you don't lay down. Oh, I am on the ground. Put your hands on your stomach. I got it. Spray. Okay. Get the fuck back. Stop. I'm not doing it.
So before we get to the next part, you can see that a lot of people always go with that. Well, he should have complied, right? They always say he should have complied. He should have done this. He should have done that. The man is on the ground. You can obviously tell that he's fearful, right? He's in fear of his life. He's in fear of what's going on. And you would think they would have some kind of understanding as far as him actually being on the ground in relation to, their commands.
It's very difficult when you're in that situation of a bunch of police officers. Number one, they're supposed to protect and serve. Mm-hmm. And we'll get into this later, this conversation a little deeper, but when I get pulled over by police officers, I don't feel comfortable. I feel scared. I am scared. I am scared, period.
And that's, your paperwork's legit. You got your license. You have the right to drive, right? No matter what, no warrants, right? Like we good. We good.
Gucci.
The issue is this: when I'm driving and I see a cop behind me or something like that, or I may just glance up, at the rearview mirror. There is a slight sense of fear, and it's crazy, right? We shouldn't have that, but the reason why we have that fear is because we understand what could happen.
And it's funny you say that. And I'll get it actually a little more deeper. We can watch the movie a little bit more, but there's different ways that nationalities. And I was at my old church in New York City. We had this discussion, and I was talking to an Asian woman about getting pulled over, and different nationalities have different perspectives on getting pulled over. Mm-hmm. Like certain people may say they may even actually get nasty back with a police officer.
Oh yeah.
Me, I'm not doing that.
No.
Because I'm gonna end up having, a baton in my face, or I'm getting tased, or even worse. So I there's rules that I stick to. There's a methodology I stick to, and I'll share that later on. But yeah, it's not a fun thing, man.
There's definitely different situations for. And we can get into it. There's different from where you are geographically to your race, nationality,
time, what timing of it. Yeah, if it's at night. Ooh,
yeah. There's so many different variables, but the bottom line is everyone doesn't have the same kind of emotions towards the situations that could happen when police are involved. So how do we change that? How do we fix that? I don't think there's a real clearly defined answer, because at the end of the day, they're not being taught how to de-escalate.
There is an answer, in my opinion, and it's far-fetched. Mm-hmm. But when we always watch older movies that we grew up with, right? Back to the Futures, and in Back to the Future, people said, "Okay, this movie's crazy." But from that movie, there's probably 5 to 6 inventions that happened from that movie. iPad was one of them.
Oh yeah.
The sneakers, tying themselves up. The hoverboard. All these things happened out of that movie. And the reason I'm bringing this up is the way to, in my opinion, and people are going to hate it when it happens, but it's going to happen, is when you take the emotions out of the person. What happens is you have to use a robot.
Yeah.
It has to be robot. They did it in toll booths. You know, there's sometimes where people are like, okay, I don't have $1 to go through a toll booth. All right, you know what? Today, here's your lucky day. Here, you can go by. There's that emotion, that empathy or sympathy for somebody. Okay, you don't have the money. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Well, once you start taking the emotions out, you have robots.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to get to that point, but we're going to get there one day.
Well, no, we are, right? Because of AI.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of discussions as far as AI. That'll be another topic we get into. But just to piggyback off that point of view, AI is going to change a lot of things. They actually have done a pilot test for a McDonald's that's basically gone completely automated,
yep.
Right? So you got the person who obviously brings the food in and things like that. But after that, it's turnkey, right? You've got the robots making the sandwiches. You've got the people going inside or picking up the orders. That's all automated. There's going to be no workers inside these restaurants anymore, right? And I feel like it's going to get to a point, right? We may not see it in our lifetime, but it's definitely going to get to a point where you walk into a 5-star restaurant and you got a robot serving you.
Yeah. A little cart, little cart comes out on some wheels, talks to you, what are you looking to have? All right, open up right here. We got it. Boom.
Yeah.
Take that.
All right. So let's keep going.
Let's go.
So he misses him with the taser.
This is the white police officer, I believe. So I heard he didn't go to the second scene where they beat him, but he was there in the first scene. He just got let go recently too.
Well,
yeah. Which he should have, but he wasn't implicated in the first 5 people.
Where it rains and Ross. Taser was deployed. Suspect is running down Ross.
Can I just say this real quick? There is no reason why this man ran not even a half block and he's out of breath. Like go to the gym, bro. Like there should be like mandatory endurance and like it's like cross country fit running and stuff like that for these cops. Why are you out of breath?
He's not older. He's not old either.
No,
it's not like he's 56 years old. This dude is in his 30s, mid 30s.
All the officers involved in this are between the ages of 28 and 32.
That's crazy. My man huffing and puffing like he about to blow somebody's house down.
It's crazy.
Like he just smoked a pack of marbles, man.
He literally ran not even half the block. Maybe
young
like
male, black, slim build,
what, 50,
blue jeans,
50 yards maybe,
and a hoodie.
We're talking about gasping for air. Like he may need an EMT right now.
It's wild. It's wild.
Southbound on Ross, when we last saw him. What's up? I got you. All right, hang on.
My man, he bent over.
He's done too.
Just straight.
My man is donezo.
One of the prongs hit the bastard. All right, your car's right in front of you.
This is my car. Grab my water.
All right, hang on. Where's your water?
My man is struggling.
So, yeah, I mean, this is just to watch this, right? It's like first off, all the struggling, right? You've got multiple people struggling with one man. You guys had him down on the ground, right? Your taser didn't work because you missed. He then runs off.
He's $150.
He's $150. There's literally 5 of you.
Right, 6. With him, I think it was 6 now.
Yeah. So why is it that you guys couldn't detain him, arrest him, when he was on the ground? There's 5 of you.
At 200 pounds per person. That's 1,200 pounds versus $150. What are we talking about here, man?
Yeah, I don't.
He's not this dude don't know jiu-jitsu or karate. He ain't David Copperfield. He ain't just disappeared.
No, I mean, there's no reason why he should have even got away.
He's not Usain Bolt either, because my man, like, he ain't that fast, but my man's jetted.
Yeah.
No, he's
I can't see shit.
He's struggling too, my man in the back.
Like I said, like it makes no sense why these guys are all out of breath.
Okay, I got you.
The good thing is they're gonna have time to work out now.
Relax.
Get my water.
Relax.
Yeah. Right here.
Water.
Negative 29.38.
Starbucks too?
Where are my damn glasses at?
I mean, this is a lot of filler.
Left eye again?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
He's pouring water on.
Well, because he got sprayed. So what happened? Let me stop this.
Oh, he got sprayed. Oh, the other cop got sprayed.
Yeah, he got pepper sprayed because they have no aim.
He pepper sprayed another cop.
So why would you pepper spray another cop? Like, were you that just terrible at aiming the pepper spray when you couldn't get into the subject's face? That's crazy.
Imagine trying to shoot somebody, man.
I can't see jack shit. My glasses when he was fighting me.
I don't remember. I never seen him fighting anybody either. So.
Negative. We just saw him running down Ross.
Spur me again, right?
Yeah.
Why can't you pour it yourself, man?
He needs that help.
You need that much help? You can't pour the water yourself in your own eye? Come on, man. What are we talking
He
about?
needs help. Just like it took 5 hours and bring one man down. He needs help with the water. So I want to skip past this because it just seems like
On his glasses, okay. Good job.
Did you also read
Detective work was amazing there.
so. Yeah, this is basically just
This is over right here.
yeah.
He's got the
This
tape.
I
is-
hope to stop his ass.
You know what he said? He said, I hope it's off his ass.
Let me go back.
Shit, you sprayed me too, but luckily it didn't get in my eyes, just on my eyebrow. I hope they stomp his ass.
Well, let's talk about that now, right? Are you hoping that they arrest him so that the whatever crime he committed, he can go to court for and he can get justice, or
They're the judge and the juror.
Exactly,
and executioner in this case. They're all three.
I hope they stomp his ass.
That's somebody protecting and serving that he didn't harm you at all.
No,
but yet you hope they stomp his ass. And but the thing about it, think about this, Jay, is how nonchalantly he said it.
Yeah.
Meaning that this is not something like, okay, this is not something that's new.
Well,
this is something that's it's a normal thing. It's a normal process. We can stomp his ass.
I think the most important part is it shows that he has no regard for human life.
Zero.
Right? How can you be an officer of the law of the people if you have no regard for human life?
When you're wishing ill will and harm on somebody in that manner, stomping, think about this, Josh. Stomping somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about 200-pound men putting your force of your leg into somebody on the ground. I mean, you know how much blunt force that is, man?
Oh, yeah.
To stomp somebody?
Yeah.
You know how belittling that is? Just not punching somebody, not knocking somebody out. We're talking about stomping them. That means in order to stomp somebody, you have to be below me in order for me to stomp you. So you're already in a position where you can't defend yourself anyway. Think about that, man. That's fucked up, though.
There's been situations where when I was a kid, right, you get into a fight, you get jumped, or you're around some people that got jumped, right? What's the first thing they do?
Stomp you.
They stomp you. I really feel like it's sad, number one. But number two, there's no change. We have all these issues every year. Every year we see at least one incident like this. And there's no change. Everyone talks reform. Everyone talks about things that we need to do. Defund the police, this, that, and the third. No. That's not what's going to get the job done.
No.
And we need this is the biggest problem. They got away with, or didn't get away with this, but this happened because they realized that, or they thought that no one would care about him.
And nobody would see it because they try to hide that camera a couple of times.
Yeah.
And they got outsmarted. And I say this all the time. It's crazy how in this era, we think it's very dangerous, and it is. Don't get me wrong. But think about how we grew up. We didn't have street cameras. We didn't have people with cameras on their stuff. Will Smith said something when George Floyd passed away.
Mm-hmm.
He said, it's not like this is something new. People have cameras now. People have ways to catch it now. This has always been going on. This has always been the thing. It's just not people are getting caught now because of it. So this is not nothing new. And that's the problem is when something this destructive is becoming almost like it's commonplace now.
Yeah.
That's a sad statement, man.
Well, another thing too is this. I think because of everything that's, let's say, over the last 20 years, right? People have become desensitized to violence. People have become desensitized to murder. People have become desensitized to mass shootings. People have become desensitized to school shootings, right? So when you show something so much and it's pushed so much in the narrative, as far as by the media, they're creating the narrative, right? Oh, it's just another day. It's just another mass shooting. Or, oh, it's just another day. It's just another school shooting, right? Nobody cares until it's their child.
True.
And that's the sad part of it. We become a society that's become desensitized to the issues that are, I want to say, some of the most heinous things that we've probably seen. Right? If you go back to the 90s, you go back to the 80s, the 70s, 60s, there was no real mass shootings. And if something did happen, it was a big thing. And it freaked everybody out.
Well, you have more exposure to cameras, and that's a bad thing as well, because now people want their 15 minutes of fame. Yeah. People do things just to get their couple seconds or minutes of fame, and do things that's pretty stupid. Like, here it is right here. This is crazy here, man. So it was crazy. They didn't even know this camera they didn't even know this camera existed here, which is funny too. Like, you think of these are streets that
this is a street camera?
There's a street camera. Yeah, this is actually a pole camera.
Oh, you can see just
kicking
him, and he almost slipped. Now on this camera, there's not going to be any sound, but you can just see him kicking him, basically kicking him in the head at this point.
So 2034 time wise, that's is that 8:34, correct?
Yeah.
8:34 at night, and look at the surroundings. This is a residential neighborhood, man.
Yeah. So
look at the baton.
Yeah, he pulls out the baton.
Hit him. 1, 2, 3. Look how he's, hold up. 3.
So okay, he picked him up. Why did he pick him up? If you're gonna arrest him, arrest him on the ground, get him in handcuffs,
and put him in the car.
Yeah, and put him in the car. But it looks like his hands are behind his back, right?
They just punched him again, uppercut. 3.
So
now he's knocked him out.
His hands are behind his back.
Hands behind his back, and they punched him.
Still punching him, and they're still hitting him.
Punched him in his face and knocked him out. That's why he hit the ground. You see his head get like a little woozy?
Yeah.
Now he hit the ground again. Now he's face down.
So
and somebody's on top of him.
Yeah, this is the part of the video where it's egregious. This is the part of the video where, just like Tennessee Tactical said, this is the one that will definitely get them prosecuted. Tactical. This is insane.
If you look at that car over there, another car showing up. You see the lights flashing on the car to the right.
Yeah. So I wonder if the actions are going to change when his other car comes.
Yeah, because it's another police car showing up now. Somebody just ran up to it.
Okay, so that's 1,
two more.
2 more cops.
3.
No, he's kicking him.
So 3 cops come in.
So obviously they're all together, and they've probably all been around these kind of situations before and have done this stuff before.
Well, I did a little bit of research on the Scorpion unit. Do you know that the Memphis police were funded $28 million per year for this Scorpion department that they dismantled now because of this incident?
$28 million
per year. This department got funded. This
specific unit.
This Scorpion unit, correct?
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's absolutely disturbing. Shout out to you, Duke. Yeah, this is wild. I want to try to get to a point where we can get some audio.
And I want to give, I want to give a special shout out to she goes by CJ Davis, which is the police chief of Memphis.
Mhm.
She's actually the first female, not only just black, first female in general, police chief for Memphis, and that was 2021. So 1 year later, she has to now deal with this, man.
Well, obviously it's not her fault specifically, right? But there's going to be a lot of scrutiny as far as how this unit was regulated, right? What kind of training they were getting, what kind of situational awareness they were provided with.
Obviously, it's not a lot, and you have to almost.
Watch out! Baton the fuck out! Get his fucking hands!
See now, they block the camera.
Yes,
To be honest with you, that should be an offense within itself. If your camera gets blocked, you should be suspended for a week, no pay. A month, no pay.
More than that, especially in this kind of situation. If you block the camera and somebody died from the accident,
this is crazy.
So now, is it blocked or is
no? He's blocked. They blocked it on purpose. And what the stuff that I've read. Now, granted, it's the only stuff I'm reading. They said he blocked it on purpose, but in the background you can hear them narrating something else that's really not happening. Because if you see the timeline with the camera on the top, and in their camera, it's not the same thing that happened. So like he's like, "Oh, stop hitting me." The guy was never hitting him. Kyrie was never hitting him. He was getting hit.
So they
But
tried to edit the
correct. Yes. Jesus, stop hitting him.
Yeah, see, there's no reason why the camera should.
Man, I got some camera.
2938. Does the fire department need to come down to you, or are you bringing them back down here?
And whatever is blocking it is not moving, so it's not. That's egregious in itself because you put something in front of the camera, so it's blocked. It's not like it's like something is in front of him.
So now it's just when he moved whatever he had on the camera.
He got nothing in the car. Unless he threw it when on his way running. He ran so goddamn far.
I don't know. That might be. I don't know if we didn't have none.
And them some big dudes, dog. Them some big police officers. Them ain't no little dudes.
No, they're not little.
Them dudes is about to be a 225.
At least 220.
Easy.
Yeah.
Per cop.
We not even running fast. This how I knew you was fucked up. When you were running, you just said, fuck. You just shit. You look like Steve Wonder, man.
Everyone's standing around joking, it's a funny situation. Like you beat somebody to death. Spit. Somebody just looking around or whatever. So yeah, this was absolutely not just terrible, but it's eye-opening. Once again, we're dealing with another situation. And normally, and we're gonna go here. Normally, people love to pull the race card in this situation, right?
Can't this time.
Well, you can't, right? It's not white cops; it's black cops. So now there's gonna be people painting the narrative. Well, they're blue because they're cops. So we're not still gonna paint the narrative of it's black on black crime, which is another topic in itself. This is exactly what this is. Now, there's rumors that Tyre Nichols is having some kind of sexual relationship with one of the officers' ex baby mother.
Yeah, baby mama or wife or something.
Yeah, baby mother or wife or whatever. It was, regardless, it was his ex. And so there may have been some kind of premeditated setup here within that situation. This is all allegedly. Right, we don't know. We don't have the complete facts of that story.
Got it.
But it looks like there was some kind of vendetta, right? Because why would it take 5 cops to go this far into not only beating a man down, but beating him so bad that he succumbs to his injuries.
This is my point here. And again, this is just my speculation of everything I've read, everything I watched. You said that allegedly it was about Tyre was with maybe one of the police officers' ex-wife or ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
I think that has to be more true than not, based off of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with this is this: there's emotions involved. So now we don't know what happened between those two parties. This is the problem I have here. How much do you ride or die with your group? We all get put in groups. There's always going to be a group. It could be a sports team.
Yep.
It could be I'm a doctor. I'm color, religion, whatever it is. There's always going to be a group.
Yeah.
How far do you ride for your group? Because if the one police officer, had an issue with Tyre based off of relationship issues, why am I riding so much with this one police officer that has a vendetta with this guy based off of his personal relationship with his ex-wife or girlfriend, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Why am I riding so hard with you? Why am I protecting you as a wrong cop? Because you're wrong.
Well, I mean, that's shout out to Tennessee Tactical. Cops have a code, right?
And that's sad.
But listen, it's the same code that we see in all of these situations.
Every situation,
they always cover up for each other. Every situation, they always have the same narrative, right? They get their story together. And it's not until it gets to this point where they go through the footage and they go through everything they go through, and it goes to court, and all these people getting a hoorah about it. And before it gets so big that certain people higher ups have to do something, right? So they have to investigate because the people above them are going to investigate. There's no more sweeping it under the rug. That's what I'm getting at.
But why do we ride and die for a group that has nothing to do with us? Because we're doing it in sports. I can be a Bills fan. You can be an Eagles fan. I'm at a game. My team's beating your team. I'm talking shit. You get upset. We get into a fight over two teams that we never played for, that we're just representing as fans. Yeah. We never got a dime from a team, but yet we're going to get into a physical fist fight and almost kill each other off of a group that we represent.
Well, I mean, so I would say in that instance, right, that's more of a obviously like a fandom situation, right? You believe in your team so much, you may have went through the heartache and pain of seasons.
We got to get out of that mode, man.
Well, but that's just in that instance. And in the cops instance, right, they're like a fraternity, they're like a gang, they're like a family. So they're going to stick together a lot more because think about it, they're spending more time together than what they are with their families, right? They're spending more time together than they are with their kids.
Yes, I agree with you to a certain extent. The part I don't agree with you is this. 3 EMTs got fired that have nothing to do with the police officers. They do and they don't. They don't share the same department. But yet that Scorpion unit had so much influence.
Oh yeah.
They told the EMTs, nah, don't touch them. Don't look at them. You don't perform any procedure on them at all, period.
It was 16 minutes before
that's crazy.
EMT got to Tyre Nichols. It was
and 3 of them got fired.
16 minutes.
I believe one of them was a chief or a captain or something that got fired as well.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
So that not only means that they're all in it together, right? But the influence that these individuals can have could basically it's this difference between life and death, right? So you have a network of individuals who have that much control over whether you live or die, no matter what you did, right? You could be completely innocent, never did anything in your life. You have a little misunderstanding. These people can say, you know what? Don't save them, or take your time. And the next thing you know, this person dies because of someone's negligence.
And that's sad because the EMTs weren't emotionally involved like these other police officers.
Yeah.
Not saying I get it because I don't get it, but like you said earlier, you were with a group of people that you're probably with more than you're with your family.
Yeah.
So there is a bond, there is a connection between those people. I get that part. To that part. But when you bring somebody from the outside in now, EMTs, 3, not 1, not 2, but but 3
Yeah.
that aren't emotionally involved in the chase, aren't emotionally involved in the beating of this of Tyre.
Yeah.
They're not. They weren't even around for any of this. They're not emotionally involved, but yet they still were part of something they weren't even emotionally a part of, and they still like, no, we're not gonna like. Where is your moral? Where as does your moral compass kicking? Like, you know what, guys, gals, this is wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. You know what? You know what I'm seeing too? And I hate to go here, but it's important that we do. Where is this could be my brother? Right? Where is this could be my family? Or this could be somebody I know. This could be their family. When you take away the fact that they're cops and they're aggravated and they're doing all this kind of stuff, where is the line that's drawn when you sit back and you realize this person is not only a human, but he looks just like me? Right? We do a lot of talking about what other nationalities of cops do. But this is the first time in a long time I think a lot of people are actually sitting down and saying, wow, these are 5 black cops who have killed a man by beating him to death. Regardless of this Scorpion unit, I don't care what it is. They're Memphis police officers. That's it, right? Take away the stupid unit name. They're Memphis police officers, and I'm sure they engage with a lot of different black people where they're at. So the question is, what do they consider their family, their brother, or humans in general? Right. And there's more stories of different situations where people are saying that one of the officers had pulled guns on them before for no reason, had beat another man unconscious for no reason, and he's still a cop.
And I'm glad you brought this up because you ever watched the Ozarks before?
Yeah.
You remember? Most people don't remember the first season. I think it was maybe the first or second episode is when the let's say mafia guy, the cartel gentleman was telling him a story about his father and one of the workers that was stealing from him. Remember that story? I don't remember in detail, but I remember the moral part of the story was after he caught her, he said to himself, this wasn't her first time ever doing it. It's the first time she got caught doing it. Yeah. So my point is, with these police officers, this ain't the first time.
This is their first time getting caught.
This is the first time getting caught.
Yeah.
So how many times have they whooped somebody's ass?
Yeah.
You brought a couple times. You said, somebody was unconscious. That's a lot, man. Now I get it that you're in a unit. They call it Scorpion unit. It ain't unicorn unit. It ain't something soft and fuzzy and something warm. It ain't the rabbit unit. It's a deadly unit.
It's not the puppy unit.
No, it ain't the puppy unit. It's a scorpion unit where when we strike you, you dead after first strike.
Yeah, you dead.
That's what we call it, scorpion unit for. This is a very fierce unit.
Yeah.
And and I get it. You have to have a certain mentality with being in a unit like this, but there still has to be that line. You say, you know what? No, we can't cross this line. We got to be a little grimy, but you know what? Once it gets to this point, we gotta back down.
I just feel like this. Me and you both, we've been around the streets. We've been in some situations. No matter what, you know who is soft. You know who is tough. You know the difference between the people, right? This was someone that maybe had a little bit more power, taking advantage of a man, regardless of his color. When we break it down, this is a gross use of authority, right? We have to stop looking at things like, oh, they're meant to be this way, or they're meant to be fierce, they're meant to be aggressive. No. This man looked like a college kid. He might as well had a skateboard in his damn hand. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he'd have hopped out the car with a knife, a sword, a gun, he probably would have shot him, right? He was unarmed. He was scared. 5 of you couldn't bring him down. And then when he did go down, you couldn't arrest him. It's sad.
And if you look at the beginning of the film, too, think about this. If I am a criminal.
Mhm.
You're pulling me over, right? If I'm a criminal, I'm going to I'm going to drive away in my car before I start running.
Yeah, I'm
I
not.
got a better chance of getting away in my car than me running. But if I have nothing to lose, if I'm not a criminal, I'm stopping for you. I'm pulling over. I got nothing, guys. I got nothing to hide. I'm pulling over.
I got nothing to hide. I'm pulling over.
Got nothing in the car. I got no work. I got no guns. No nothing. Here, okay. What we need? What we need to do?
So let's switch the narrative here. There's a big issue with Tyre as well, right? We can sit here and berate the cops. We can sit here and talk about what they did. We can break down the video, which is what we did. Point blank is this. I don't care who you are. If you get pulled over by the cops, you answer their questions. You give them your license, your insurance. They tell you to step out the car. You step out of the car, right? If they want to detain you, cool. You don't fight. You let them detain you. If you got to sit in jail for how many ever hours, whatever. You get out, get yourself a lawyer, and sue for wrongful arrest. Because guess what? By you doing that, you get to live and see another day, and you're going to get a paycheck.
Maybe a couple dollars in your pocket.
You might get a couple dollars in your pocket. But the problem is this. People let fear overtake rationale.
100%.
Right? When you're fearful, you start making mistakes. You start thinking irrationally, right? You start doing things you normally wouldn't do. This man sees 5 big men, black men, standing over him, ready to kill him, basically.
Did kill him.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's not thinking in his right mind. He's not able to make the right decisions. But if we make the right decisions before things get out of hand, we're able to realize what we need to do to keep our lives and figure things out down the road.
True. And I've watched enough. I'm on TikTok at times at night, and you get caught in that, that web of TikTok. But one thing I do, I don't know how does this go for you and all. When I get pulled over, I have a process when I get pulled over. I haven't get pulled. Now, granted, when I got pulled over in the past, it was because stupidity that I've done. I'm gonna give myself. I used to like to speed until I got this Bronco. Prior to that, I used to modify all my cars. Whatever it came from the factory, I made it fast.
Well, I had the BMW.
Yeah, so I used to make my cars go fast.
Yeah.
And I've gotten pulled over for speeding several times, and I know I'm in the wrong. But the one thing I've always done was when I get pulled over at night, I turn the car off. I put the keys on the dashboard. I put my hands on the steering wheel until they tell me to get my license and my registration and my insurance.
Yep.
In addition to that, I turn the lights on, interior lights on, and I call somebody. And I put them on Bluetooth so they can hear the whole conversation was going on.
Yeah.
I want a witness.
Yep.
Now, granted, going forward, I think I'm gonna start recording it because by law, you can record everything that's happening.
You can record everything that's going on.
Everything. So going forward, I'm gonna record it and probably put it on video.
Yeah.
I mean, record it and put it on my Bluetooth as well. But I shouldn't have to go through all that, man.
No, I so remember when I had the BMW?
Yeah.
That was my car. Yeah. I love that car. Kitted out fast as ever. It was like 480 horses. I loved it. I loved to hit the gas, right? I actually got pulled over by a state trooper. I was going
tough ones.
Yeah, I was going 70. But there's a silver lining to this story, right? I was going 70. Now, it was a line of us, but he chose me, right? It was just my lucky day.
Yeah. Go figure.
Pulls me over. Hey, license, registration, da-da-da. Gave him all the information. He came back. He says, hey, do you know how fast you're going? I said, yes, officer. I understand I was speeding. I apologize.
Sir.
He went and ran my paperwork, came back. So, you know what? It's your lucky day. Don't speed. Take your time. He could have wrote me a ticket. He could have been crazy about it. But I think from my demeanor and the way I addressed him and me basically understanding how I needed to talk to him in that situation, soften him up a little bit, because he could have hit me hard. And I've gotten other tickets from other cops that just didn't care, But my point is this:
man, listen.
If you say the right things and if you have a demeanor to where they don't feel threatened, and you're not giving them an attitude, you're not giving them, the vibe that you're trying to be an issue. You're more so to get out of a situation. It's not until, and we see it all the time, the people that give the attitudes, act all crazy, act entitled, and all that kind of stuff, and they put themselves in these situations, and they get mad or have an issue with what happens next. You have the ability to control the situation. Most people don't realize that. You have the ability to control the situation as much as you can.
You really do. And let me tell you a funny story. It's just I'm trying to make it quick as possible. At 16 years old, I had my permit. Mm-hmm. Two of my boys in the car with me, 18 years old, both in the back seat, one in the front seat, one in the back seat, 2-door vehicle. Get pulled over by a police officer. 100% my fault. I started speeding at a young age. Mm-hmm. I'm at a light with somebody. I try to race him at a stoplight, at a light. Cop directly behind me, didn't even know he's directly behind me, throws his lights on, pulls me over. Pulls over to the side. I have a permit, remember what I said. Mm-hmm. My 2 boys have licenses. Looks at my permit, says, actually, where's me get your license? Show my permit. He says, it's only a permit. I said, well, these guys in the back have licenses. Said, there's nobody back there. He says, what you mean? He says, guys, get out the car. Made them walk home. He says, now you're by yourself. There's nobody in the car with you. I'm like, what? They were just in the car. He's like, no. Put me in the back of the police car. 16 years old. Put me in the back of their police car. Went to another call. Mm-hmm. Threw my mother's car keys in the back seat and said, buddy, I dare you. Dare me to grab the keys and leave. I'm not in cuffs. Yeah. I'm like, nah, I'm good. The car's right behind us. So the other partner drove the car and put it right behind the police car on another call. So I'm on another call in the back of the car. Yeah. Get to the precinct. They tore my mother's car apart. They told me because I was in a high drug area.
Oh, yeah.
I go to court. The problem with this court system is this, especially with traffic court. And the reason I'm bringing this up is you said something earlier. As long as you don't give them a reason to remember you, you're good. So the court date was 9 months later. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't fight. I didn't do anything else. So as we go to court, the police officer forgets what happened. 9 months happened now. Yeah. Now, if I did something crazy, he would remember what happened. But again, what happened crazy? We go to court and he says, yeah, Your Honor, I was behind the vehicle and I seen his back tire spinning. I said, Your Honor, it's impossible to see the back tire spinning because it's a front-wheel drive car. Mm-hmm. He looked at the vehicle. He says, oh, 1990 Sentra? Case dismissed. He's right. It's a front-wheel drive car. There's no way you can see the back. So I got out of it. But my point is, if you don't give them extra ammunition, you're okay in the future. Yeah. But it's the ones that want to back talk. And I've seen some people do it before. I'm not the right color to do that, though. Yeah. I can't sell, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go ahead and get belligerent with a cop, especially at night.
No.
I'm not doing that, man.
I was in a situation when I was younger too. I was 16s, man. 16s. I was driving. I had a
16 was that year.
I had a Ford Tempo. I was 16. I had a Ford Tempo. I just got it too. It was a little beater.
Yeah, that's 16. It's supposed to have a little beater.
A little beater. I didn't have my license. I just got the car because my birthday was coming up. I didn't have my license. I was going to get my license. I got pulled over. They actually threw me in the back of the car.
I got put in the back too.
So it just so happens that I had my ID. I didn't have my license. I had my ID. My ID had my birthday on it. So they had my ID. They're running it. They trying to see if I had anything on my
you're 16. You ain't got no warrants.
16. I ain't got nothing.
You got no price.
So they had me in the back of the car. He's talking to his partner. I'm hitting him with the yes, sir. And
of course, you got to.
Yeah, because I know I'm gone. I'm gonna lose my car.
It's proper etiquette, man.
Put me in the back. Talk to his partner. He's like looking at his partner. Now I could tell his partner was younger because the one that got me out of the car and they put me in cuffs, put me in the back of the car. Back of the cop car was older gentleman. So I'm in the back. In my mind, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna lose my car. My parents gonna be hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, but no, like he asked me this question. He was like, who taught you how to be so polite to the police? And I said, my parents. My parents told me to say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. If I'm ever pulled over or if I'm in this kind of a situation where I have to talk to a police officer. And he's like, oh, your parents raised you right. And he looks over his buddy and he's like, oh, what should we do? And his buddy was hot. I could tell his buddy was a little racist. He just looked the other way. And he was like, all right, we're going to let you go, but go straight home. So this is, like I said, it's all about how you handle yourself in certain situations. Now, I can tell you plenty of times where I've gotten tickets. It was 2011. I was going 80 on the 90, and I got hit with a $300 ticket plus the stupid fine they give you, right? That surcharge or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I got like 6 points on my license at the time. So I wasn't able to get out of every situation, but I was able to get out of some very significant situations by knowing how I should talk to people. And that's the biggest problem. Knowing how to handle yourself in certain situations will get you out of certain situations and will probably help you keep your life.
Well, last week you brought up something, right? You brought up 2 C words that applies here: conversation and communication.
Mm-hmm.
If you know how to have a conversation and you know how to communicate with whoever, especially somebody of authority, because when you get pulled over, the police officer is authority. Yeah. Whether no matter how high your title may be,
no matter how much money you got,
at that particular point, they're an authority.
No matter how famous you are,
they're an authority.
They're the
authority. Yep. So if you know how to communicate and have a conversation with that person, sometimes they can be empathetic and sympathetic enough to say, you know what, all right, we get it. You know what, I get it. We're gonna let you go.
Yeah,
and I get that. It's sometimes we cause our own issues by talking back. By resisting, but in this particular case, this dude was 150 pounds. Let's say he was resisting. Let's say he was resisting arrest.
Yeah,
he's $150. These dudes are 2 and some change. I got you by 50 to 75 pounds.
It shouldn't take 5 people to bring
this
man down.
No,
but I think this is the point here, right? Moving forward, people need to understand there's a certain etiquette, there's a certain decorum for getting pulled over and addressing police in any situation. Right? They could come up to you and you fit the description of somebody, right? What are most people going to do? They're going to feel some kind of way. It's not me. I'm
hitting him with the shaggy. It wasn't me.
Right? Don't touch me. Get away from me. At this point now, they already told you, hey, you fit the description of this person. Now, granted, you know what you was at the supermarket earlier,
strip club,
you was out at strip club, whatever. you was with your girlfriend, whatever. You have a timestamp, and it's validated where you were.
You have an alibi.
But instead of you understand, all right, you know what, officer, fine, you can detain me. I'll answer any kind of questions that you need me to. Let's go ahead and figure this out because I'm not the person that you guys are looking for. I want to help you so I can get home, and they're gonna respect you. But a lot of people, what they do is they get aggravated. They create more of a problem than what's presented to them because they don't know how to address these specific issues.
Now, you talked about something earlier, and I think we both said it. The problem is we're being desensitized to now these videos.
Yeah.
You said these shootings. We're getting desensitized because it's happening too often. And the reason I'm bringing this up is we should do the right thing. And if you watch enough of these videos, you will say to yourself, once you get in that situation, like, okay, maybe I need to shut the hell up. Maybe I shouldn't talk back. Maybe I shouldn't do the things that my emotions want me to do. Maybe I shouldn't do those things because after seeing enough of these videos, I could be that person on that video next.
Let me keep it real, right? I don't give a damn about what a cop does, right? But I know that I have responsibilities that I got to get home to. So I have to make the best decisions that I can possible
to make
it home.
Yep.
Right? To make sure that I'm not putting myself into a situation to where I'm coming off as a threat. To make sure that I'm not coming off as someone that can't communicate. To make sure that these people can understand that, hey, this is a person that's sensible and that can hold a conversation. And is an actual citizen that can actually, get back home to his family.
Yeah, true.
I think people have a misconception about most cops, and I'm not going to say most cops, right? Because there are some bad apples out there. We get it.
Yeah.
Most cops don't want to hurt you, right? That's the reality. Most cops don't want to hurt you. Do they want to write you a ticket sometime? Hell yeah, they got a quota to hit. We know that.
And again, and I get it. They're out, and this is the part I get. Like you said, the quota part.
Mm-hmm.
We all work our pay plans.
Yeah.
Meaning that there's certain times of the month or the year that they gotta write a bunch of tickets because there's a quota they have to hit for the department. I get that, and I might fall into that quota.
Yep.
Because there's something stupid I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
It's only when I'm doing something stupid though. If I'm in the wrong, I expect my penalty of, like you said, your $300 fine, your surcharge. I did something stupid.
Pay it and move on.
I get it and I move on because I got caught doing something dumb.
Listen, if the speed limit's 35 and you doing 45, expect to get pulled over.
It is what it is, and
right?
you know you got to respect it. Okay, that's their just like you go to your job every day. I go to my job every day. Like that's their job, and that's their job is to enforce the laws. Because if you didn't enforce it, if everybody went go on a stoplight, it'd be chaos.
Yeah, it'd be chaos.
So their job is to protect and serve and to get order in place. And I get that.
The premise is this, right? I don't want us to seem like we're pushing the narrative that Tyre Nichols did something wrong. What we're saying at this point is, moving forward, people have to understand how to conduct themselves during these kind of situations.
True.
That's the real reason behind this video. Everyone needs to understand how to conduct themselves when it comes to being in these kind of situations, no matter what, whether you're getting pulled over, whether you're being questioned by the police, whether there's some kind of investigation that you may be involved in that you had nothing to do about it. There's different kind of scenarios that you may find yourself in, and you may not know how to react to it. This is not the way.
No.
That's not the way. You know, you have to learn about how to talk to people. You have to learn how to navigate certain situations because your life is dependent on it. It's not just words. It's your life.
Yeah, and you're true too. In a lot of cases, this is the problem I have. You said right now, and I get that part. Your life is in jeopardy, right? But when it comes to somebody that my tax dollars goes towards protecting and serving me, and I'm not getting protected and served, I got a problem with that. And the other problem I have is the emotional part. We have to figure a way how to get that out of people.
Yeah.
Because let's say let's take the girlfriend part out of it. Let's say there was no other piece involved in this, right? You could still have a bad day with something that's going on in your personal as a police officer.
Oh yeah.
Something could be happening in your life right now as a police officer.
You could be going through a divorce.
You could divorce, something happen,
kids, anything.
And now you're taking that out on me because we see that happen more than often in our regular everyday lives. You can go to work on your day-to-day work, and your boss or another coworkers has something going on in their personal life that they're taking out on you because it's easy to take it out on you because you're right there to do it. Well, I don't need that to happen when it's a police officer. I don't need you to take your personal shit out on me based off what you're going through in your life right now. I don't deserve that.
Shout out to Timo. It says we need a WNC show on the unfair tax system. We can talk about it.
Oh, that's another. Oh, definitely talking about that.
I got a lot.
That's definitely. That's definitely going to be
to say about the unfair tax system.
Oh my goodness.
Because Jay pays taxes. I don't get checks back.
No,
you better read between the lines.
No. And
I pay taxes. I don't.
What's crazy is I know we're jumping on the subject fast, but there are 3 states that companies will register their company in based off of their tax laws.
Yeah,
Delaware, Nevada, and Minnesota. Is Minnesota? No.
No.
Nevada,
Wyoming.
That's what it is. Wyoming. That's what it is. Wyoming, Nevada, and Delaware. Yeah, and that's a whole other conversation, though. That's crazy.
Yeah, we'll get into.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that.
We'll definitely get into business and stuff like that. We've got those kind of conversations cooking up for you guys. Yes. But I just want to say this as we approach the 1 hour mark. We had a great conversation, a great dialogue into this. First and foremost, rest in peace to Tyre Nichols.
Yes, rest in peace, R.I.P. To his family, our condolences. If
we can give you guys one specific message that you need to hear at this point, if you don't take anything else but the sorrow or the issues from this video, make sure that you guys realize that it's very important to have the right conversations at the right time, to do the things that you need to do to make sure that you get home to your family, and to realize that your life is very important. So you need to do what you need to do to keep it. So,
and my point real fast though, Josh, and I'm gonna piggyback on something you said earlier. I'm gonna give you parents credit.
Mm-hmm.
Is have that conversation with your children, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure your children, because we all know how we were when we were 20 years old. We told two different stories at 16.
Yeah.
How invincible you are at 16 years old. How you think the world is your oyster at 16 years old. But there's things in life that we may not understand. And by you having that experience, being pulled over by police officers in this case, have that conversation with your children on what to say, how to say it. Because a lot of times you realize it's not what you say, sometimes it's how you say it.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. I was thinking that. How many times though has a kid been in a situation with police and not know what to do, not know what to say?
You have
right. Parents have to roll up and try to fix the situation.
It's got to be education, man. It's got to be. Sometimes it's too late. Your parents can't roll up.
Sometimes it's too late. Your parents can't get there. So yeah, it's very important that parents instill in their children how to conduct themselves around the police, how to answer questions, and when not to answer questions. You don't have to talk to the cops.
No, there's certain
things. You don't
have
to say anything to the cops. Get a lawyer. Right? It's very important to know this kind of stuff. That's another topic that we can talk about.
Yeah, and there's a thing too that's on TikTok is a big thing. It's constitutional auditing. I don't know if you've seen that before.
Yeah.
Which is big because the reason I'm bringing it up is you said, there's things that you don't have to do. There's things that sometimes because we don't know the laws that we do it because we have a police officer tell us we have to do it.
Yep.
Even though we don't have to actually do certain things. Again, if you're not in the car, you don't have to produce your license. If somebody asks you, well, let me see your ID. No. If you're not in the car, you don't have to produce your ID.
Well,
no, I don't want to show my ID.
Well, just like unless the police have a reasonable suspicion to search your vehicle or have committed you of a crime, they can't just search your car.
No.
Right? If a cop comes up to your vehicle and they're like, hey, let me search your car, and you just say, yeah, you've given them consent to search your vehicle.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
Right? You don't have to do that. You can say, no, I do not consent to a search of my vehicle. If they don't have any probable cause or anything that insinuates that you committed a crime, you don't have to let them search your vehicle. You know how many people don't know that?
And the other thing too is even getting out the car. You don't have to get out the car.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you've committed a crime or unless you've been.
If you're in a car, you do have to give your license and registration insurance. Yeah. If you're in a car, you have to do.
If you do get pulled over and you're driving, you do have to furnish those materials: your driver's license, insurance, registration, things like that. But if you have not committed a crime, they do not have the right to search your vehicle.
No.
They do not have the right to take you out of the vehicle. Obviously, whatever ticket they want to give you, they can give you a ticket, but that's just it.
Jay-Z said it. I got 99 problems, but a B ain't one. He said, yo, they try to search my car. He said, let's see how smart when the dogs come. Yeah. He said, I got 99 problems, but a B ain't one. And it's true. You can't search my car.
That's it.
You can't illegally search my stuff. Period.
So shout out to you guys. Want to thank you all for being here. Shout out to the Wrench Gang. Shout out to the family. All the watchers. Make sure you guys smash that like, that thumbs up, and of course, subscribe. We'll have another episode for you guys next week. In the meantime, obviously, we'll be dropping shorts and additional content from this video if you have not got it. Stay safe, everybody. Much love.